What's up guys, welcome back. OCG Metagame Breakdown for early May, so end of April 2018. So then again, let's take a quick look at the OCG Metagame, since I believe it has been like almost 2 weeks. And again, a couple of things caught my attention, so again, let's take a quick look. Let's start off with Road of the King first, the most recent OCG Metagame report, I believe from yesterday evening my time. And then as always a couple of lists found on sites like Carloncho Store, ready for Duel as well. Again, all the links will be in the video description, so again, for all information, more lists, again, feel free to check out the lists down below. So we start off with Road of the King as always, and as he mentioned on his report here, his 5th metagame report, is that past weekend there were about, and let me double check, 102 deck lists gathered from over 17 tournaments. That's actually quite a lot if we can compare it, like, you know, with previous weeks and months. Most of the time like small locals, some regionals, but here he also mentions it on his website, is that past weekend from April 28th to the 1st of May was actually a big weekend. A lot of tournaments, and again a lot of deck lists that are still coming in, as he mentioned here in the beginning of his article. And then we have this particular metagame breakdown. Again, very similar to the breakdown I've had almost 2 weeks ago in my previous video of Sentuki, aka Brandish, being the most represented, if not the best deck currently in the OCG, sitting at about 33%, so about 1/3 of all decks, topping decks, well, you know, are pretty much Sentuki slash Brandish, and then followed by the usual stuff, Magicians, we have Sephras as well, ABCs, also solidly sitting in the top 5. And then a couple of quote-unquote road decks like Tricksters, Gokis as well, Altergeist, and a couple of other decks like Spiral, Sentuki for example, Grass, Infernoids. Again, Grass is still at 3 in the OCG, and you know, it's not making like the huge impact compared to it might have in the TCG when it's at 3 here, or at least it would have been at 3 here. But anyway, Sentuki, so first place. So let's take a look at the Sentuki list he decided to feature here this week. And if I can remember correctly, on day 1 on Saturday, this particular list, it wasn't your usual to go to Sentuki build due to a couple of things. Again, 6-0 on day 1, and I believe on day 2 the guy playing this particular list went 6-0-2, so 6 wins, 2 draws. And on day 3 on Tuesday, this particular list went 5-2, so ending up top 4, I believe, again with about 52 participants in this latest tournament. So what's different compared to the previous pure Sentuki builds is the fact that this particular player opted to run the Brandish field spell, your area 0 at 3, so maximum amount of copies in the main deck. And I believe that is also mentioned on the Road of the King website, is the biggest reason for this is that Iblee and, you know, the Troymare slash Nightmare extra link shenanigans is definitely becoming a big problem. Can I call it a problem? Again, it's up to you if you want to like see it as a problem. And also the fact that, you know, during this particular Troymare slash Nightmare setup slash combo combination, you can eventually give your opponent the Iblee as well. And again, you know, as you know, the Iblee prevents your opponent from using his extra deck bar, of course, the Link Summon first. So most decks like Pendulum Magicians have a hard time getting rid of the Iblee, or, you know, just go at least sacrifice their battle phase, Suicide Crash with their Iblee, or maybe if they do have the option, Link Summon it away and go from there. But again, some decks have a lot of difficulties to get rid of the Iblee that way, or, you know, have to just sacrifice their battle phase. And that's why this particular Sentuki player opted to main deck a maximum amount of copies of the field spell Area 0, again searchable off of the one of Terraforming, and of course engage, one of the most powerful spells currently in the OCG, to, you know, self-destruct something on your side of the field. And what is it called? The multi-roll, right? The quote-unquote Brandish slash Sentuki Spellbook of Judgment, the continuous spell, also has that built-in destruction effect to get rid of like the Iblee from your opponent on your side of the field, again opening your extra deck plays, which is again pretty much the MVP route to go to with the Brandish deck as a whole. And another card that's making a comeback here is Mystical Space Typhoon, and well, Twin Twisters, but again Mystical Space Typhoon over something like a Galaxy Cyclone, since Typhoon also gets rid of your own field spell, potentially triggering its destruction effect of the special summoning Sentuki Ray from your deck. So again, a couple of interesting things. Evolution, right, during the still quite early OCG format. So yeah, Sentokis. The second list, Performer Pal Magicians. This was again quite of an interesting list. Again, this wasn't like a usual local tournament in the OCG. Apparently, this particular Performer Pal Magician list got first place, is the Grand Champion of, I believe, a tournament where I believe you should have been invited throughout, you know, like the course of a couple of weeks, months, for you to be able to participate in this particular tournament. So only by invitation. And as you see here, the top 8 was 3 Altergeist, 2 Sentuki Spirals, again quite interesting, and the one of Performer Pal Magician, and eventually the Performer Pal Pendulum Magician player won the entire thing here. And quite interesting couple of things here of his build is again 40 cards in main deck, right? Side decking the good old Denko Sekka against something like Altergeist. Again, Altergeist have like 2 huge threats, and it's both the Red Reboot and of course Denko Sekka as well, and that definitely paid off, side decking the Denkos, as you see here, 3 Altergeist in this particular top 8, so Denko definitely can make a comeback soon. And quite interesting, as we saw from the past couple of weeks of Pendulums main decking the Glow Bulb to instantly go for something like Naturia Beast with the Wizard or Sorcerer, Pendulum Sorcerer. He wasn't opting, at least he wasn't running the Bulb in the main deck. But again, yeah, Naturia Beast quite important against something like Brandish, Sentuki, or well, Pendulum based decks, right? So okay, this player opted not to main deck the Bulb engine. Oh, can I call it an engine, right? ABCs is quite interesting. This is far from the ABC deck we all know, right? In the beginning of rank 4, or maybe Masterpiece, well, True Draco ABCs with the gadgets, rank 4 based or whatever, right? Nope, this is pure Link shenanigans, extra Link shenanigans, featuring the Troymare / Nightmare combos and Iblee, and only running like a small ABC engine with only 1 C, by the way. A lot of hand traps, and I believe side decking the Shadow Fusion, yep, that's definitely common in pretty much most ABC lists that I've seen. Side decking in the Shadow Fusion engine, going second, for example, to get at least hopefully your opponent having like the extra deck summoned monster to send something like Bulb from your deck to the graveyard, and you know, starting up your Link shenanigans of Needle Fiber, etc, etc. But at least the reason why ABCs is currently like one of the strongest decks in the OCG is the fact that they can very easily go for extra Link, and that's why most players opted to main deck Boral Sword Dragon over the regular Borreload Dragon. So no Borreload here in the extra deck, instead he choose to main deck, or you know, put in the extra deck the Boral Sword Dragon to have that extra Link set up with cards like Mermaid, Nightmare Goblin, Nightmare Phoenix, Unicorn, you know, the standard co-linked Nightmare / Troymare shenanigans with Buster as well. I believe there's like a combo tutorial, I believe ready for Duel, as like a couple of videos up on the Facebook page. But again, most importantly, get up that extra Link, and just in case if you aren't able to set up extra Link, always give your opponent the Iblee. And again, Iblee blocking most decks of using their extra deck, unless, well, they can always sacrifice their battle phase. So that's becoming like a real problem in the OCG. Before we had like World Chalice or Gokis, all those decks had like the ability to extra Link your opponent out of the duel, but weren't really that much high meta relevant. And now we have a deck like ABC, which can instantly put up extra Link, and if not, or if they have extra Link, also give you the ability to block your opponent completely off using the extra deck. That's so disgusting, right? Well, anyway, so ABCs. And again, that's pretty much it for ready for or at least for Road of the King. A couple of random lists, let's take a quick look. We have Blue Eyes, for example, here, with creature swap. Again, Chaos Mech's quite nice, giving you the, what's it called, the Devil Ritual monsters. I believe both of them had 0 defense, if I'm not mistaken, so getting the double attack thanks to Chaos Mechs, that's quite nifty. I might test that out in the future, maybe with the Toxic Blade. You know, it's very similar to Megamorph, for example. Here we have like a true Draco list from the OCG, I believe top 4 of, again, a local tournament, and that, you know, both Diagram and Masterpiece are banned, so quite interesting. The deck is still doing something in the OCG, but, you know, look at all those Floodgates, Skill Drain, and Dispel. Goes in match as well in the main deck. The fun-ending nightmare, yeah, the list goes on. We have Crawler, but again, I'm honest, I've never played with Crawlers from my experience, or at least from what I know. They're like a slow deck, so again, I have no experience with Crawler, so I sadly can't go too in-depth here. Palladions, ooh, this was hyped a lot when we all saw the cards. At least I had high expectations for this deck, but it's not there yet. But again, that doesn't take away that the deck is very strong. It has a very strong core engine of their one card Link Summons Right, very similar to Zodiacs, but the deck is maybe a little bit too hardly focused on getting off the OTK, and no OTK might be a bust. But still, the core is there, so there is still a lot of potential for your Palladions, but it might need a little bit more, right? As for the rest, yeah, we have Cyber Dragons as well, highly anticipating this new Cyber Dragon support. It may be a strange list, the DNA, what is it called, DNA Transplant? You know, making all the monsters on the field machine type, so special summoning the Chimera deck, the huge Chimera deck from an extra deck is quite of a nifty tech, but out of that, no hand traps, so I'm not really sure about this particular build. And then as for the rest, yeah, we see like Infernoids, but that's something I mentioned before. Yeah, Lost. Let's end with, you know, one of the newer cards recently revealed, the Dreadnought, you know, the new rank 4 Exceed monster. Yeah, very similar to Ptolemaios, Constellar Ptolemaios, and we are seeing here from the prizes in the OCG that cards like the Super Robo, what is it called, you know, I believe it's a rank 10 dimensional destroyer, you know, Harpy's Feather Duster your opponent's back row away, and of course, and I believe that's the biggest card to special summon off of your Dreadnought, is your Great Magnus, also with the price increase. Same for us TCG players, where I think the card currently is at like $20, but again, not sure about this. But yeah, again, why? Because we don't know when you are actually getting that particular card here in the TCG. But still, quite interesting, since again, it will just be a matter of time that we will eventually get that card as well. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.